A year after the catastrophic wildfire that devastated the historic Hawaiian town of Lahaina, we'll show you how one family that lost everything is doing.
I'm Ben Sherman. Coming up, we're going to take a look at some of the latest polling numbers just a week out from the presidential election.
I'm Rosemary Wright. What role are artificial intelligence and deepfakes playing in this election? I spoke with an expert to find out. More on that story, plus your weather and sports, coming up on Chapman News.
From Dodge College of Film and Media Arts, this is Chapman News.
Good afternoon and welcome to Chapman News. I'm Tegan Calley.
And I'm Caroline Linton. The election is 1 week away, and we begin today with police looking for the person they say set fire to ballot boxes in Washington state and Oregon.
In Portland, 3 ballots were burned, but hundreds were destroyed about 15 miles away in Vancouver, Washington. Authorities are now trying to track down voters and reissue ballots.
Meanwhile, on the campaign trail, as many as 40,000 people are expected later today at a rally in Washington, D.C. for Vice President Harris. Harris will speak at a park near the White House. It's the same location where on January 6, 2021, former President Trump urged supporters to overturn the 2020 election results. Yesterday, Harris and Tim Walz traveled to the swing state of Michigan for a rally in Ann Arbor. The trip was the campaign's 10th visit to the Great Lakes state. Michigan voted for Joe Biden in 2020 after voting for Donald Trump in 2016. To young voters, Harris stated they are, quote, rightfully impatient to want change.
Have only known the climate crisis and are leading then the charge to protect our planet and our future.
The Harris campaign said her remarks later today in Washington will be her, quote, final argument to voters who are still undecided.
Former President Donald Trump made an appearance at his Mar-a-Lago resort in Florida this morning, where he had strong words about his opponent, Kamala Harris. The Trump campaign is downplaying remarks made at a rally at Madison Square Garden in New York on Sunday, where several speakers used racist and vulgar language. Today, Trump once again heavily criticized Harris on the topic of border security.
Kamala's cruel and immoral actions on our border are actually disqualifying, in my opinion. She's unfit. She's an unfit person.
Meanwhile, J.D. Vance has been campaigning in Wisconsin, hoping to secure that swing state. He spoke this morning in Saginaw, Michigan, while former President Trump is set to hold a rally in Allentown, Pennsylvania later today. With just a week left, both campaigns are paying attention to their poll numbers in the 7 key swing states.
That's right, and our reporter Ben Sherman is back to give us a look at just how close these polls really are. Ben?
This race is down to the wire, and we need to take a closer look at those 7 swing states and where they stand. Let's start with Arizona. Trump up 1.9 points in Arizona. Look at that. Those polls look like railroad tracks. Dead even. He's opened up the lead in the month of October, and he's held it. Same trend in Georgia. A little narrower, but the same trend. Railroad tracks. Beginning of October, him and Kamala Harris within a point of each other. He's opened up over a 1.5 lead in Georgia. North Carolina, a little narrower, but the same deal. Railroad tracks in the last 2 weeks. He's opened up a lead and maintained it. Let's look at some good news for Kamala Harris. Up 0.5 point in Michigan, but the not so good news, that's down from almost 3 points earlier in the summer and just got narrower and narrower and narrower. Let's look also, Robert Kennedy, when he was in the race, his supporters, when he dropped out, coalesced around Donald Trump. That is also part of why those polls have narrowed. Let's look at the 3 closest states in this election. The states that we're not going to call because they are just too narrow to call at this point. Pennsylvania, 0.3 points lead for Donald Trump. Kamala Harris was leading in this state, mind you, just a week ago. Again, those polls just dead even. Kamala Harris held the lead. Now she doesn't. Same deal in Nevada, even narrower, 0.2 points. Those lines are just forming into that purple line. Kamala Harris had that lead, has lost it in the month of October. Wisconsin, dead even, guys. dead even in Wisconsin. Kamala Harris, bad news. She was up over 3 points earlier in the summer, and that's just gotten narrower and narrower and narrower. Let's look, with those updated poll numbers, let's update our Electoral College map. Those last 3 states we're not going to call because they are genuinely too close to call. Trump standing at 262 Electoral College votes, Kamala Harris at 241. Again, like we said last week, Pennsylvania is the key to this election. If you can win Pennsylvania, you have a nice looking path to victory. Either way, it's going to be razor thin 1 week from tonight. Guys?
Thanks, Ben. In other election news, for the first time, advancements in artificial intelligence could impact how some are voting.
Chapman News reporter Rosemary Wright is live from a vote center here in Orange to explain. Rosemary?
Good afternoon, Tegan and Caroline. I'm here at Orange Public Library where people are turning in their ballots and early voting is underway. I spoke with an expert who says this year, artificial intelligence can make it harder to identify false information about candidates. Misinformation, or fake news, is not a new concept. Researchers note that false and misleading information has been around for centuries, some of it in the days of so-called yellow journalism.
There's always been misinformation, but it used to be in newspapers or other written forms. Ultimately, misinformation will spread because it's just kind of how the information world works now.
As technology advances, determining what's real or fake is becoming more challenging. Deepfakes are AI-generated photos or videos that can be hyper-realistic and nearly impossible to discern from real images.
This election is coming down to a very small amount of votes in very specific areas of our country. With deepfakes, if you can even get a slight advantage, it can make the difference in this election.
Deepfakes of public figures, including politicians, continue to spread on social media and other outlets. Kashani says the ease of creating deepfakes is part of why they're becoming so common. He even gave a demonstration by generating a deepfake video of himself.
Here's an AI video of Tim that we generated in 5 minutes. We all have to be careful on what is real and what is.
As for political deepfakes, 75% of respondents to a poll by Chapman News say they've seen AI-generated images of Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. With deepfakes and other false information so widespread, Abel has one suggestion.
To spread disinformation, the most common strategies are kind of embedding lies within truths. And so if you hear a fact or a piece of information that you think, wow, that got me really upset, it might be worthwhile to say, okay, like, is that true? Do I think that's true? Or was it just presented to me to make me mad about something?
Voters are encouraged to remain cautious of information they see online, especially with advancing technologies. Experts recommend double-checking sources and staying informed. Reporting live, I'm Rosemary Wright, Chapman News.
A Los Angeles Superior Court judge will now consider prosecutors' request to have a resentencing for brothers Lyle and Eric Menendez. The Menendez brothers have spent nearly 30 years in prison, serving life without parole for murdering their parents in their Beverly Hills home in 1989. If approved, LA District Attorney George Gascon's recommendation for resentencing would make the brothers eligible for parole immediately. Gascon says he believes that they have, quote, paid their debt to society.
I just think that given the current state of the law and given our assessment of their behavior in prison, they deserve the opportunity to be reevaluated and perhaps reintegrated into the community.
New evidence of alleged sexual abuse by their father, along with increased media attention from 2 Netflix projects, have sparked the review. Family members of the brothers have also spoken out, pushing for their brother's release.
Earlier this month, investigators in Hawaii revealed the cause of the deadly wildfire that devastated the historic town of Lahaina a little over a year ago. Our Serena Martine Baile has recently traveled to her home state and spoke with a resident from Lahaina.
In a joint investigation, the Maui Fire Department and Federal ATF Bureau released a 300-page report confirming the cause of the August 2023 fire that killed more than 100 people. Maui Fire Chief Brad Ventura said, quote, "In sum, the origin and cause of the Lahaina fire is clear. The re-energization of broken power lines caused sparks that ignited unmaintained vegetation in the area. The wildfire destroyed more than 2,000 homes and businesses and caused $6 billion in damage. Recent Chapman alum Angie Avino remembers how she found out about the fire.
I got a call from my childhood best friend who asked me if I got out of Lahaina safely, and I just didn't know what was going on, but he was pretty frantic and I couldn't really hear him properly, but I could tell like something was happening, and then like the call would go in and out. And that wasn't until like he told me like, oh, all of Lahaina is burning down right now.
Angie's family got out of Lahaina safely, but lost their family home. They were among the nearly 12,000 displaced residents. She shares the same sentiments as many other Maui residents. More should have been done.
Based on everything that I've read and like everything, like seeing what my family had gone through, I think there could have been a little bit more transparency. And I think there could have been just a little bit more of like utilizing the resources that we had there.
As the community begins the long rebuilding process, Avino says the tragedy has brought people together.
I have never in my life have seen a community more like so strong and so connected than Lahaina. Like, even though everybody, every single person was hurting, had nothing, lost people, they still came back and helped others.
Angie's family recently found a new home in Wailuku. She is pursuing a graduate degree in California, but remains determined to do all she can to give back to the Lahaina community. This is Serena Martin Baile, reporting for Chapman News.
Community members step up and save a popular family Halloween event here in Orange. We'll check out Treats in the Streets coming up next.
I'm Serena Martin Baile, and we'll take a look at how climate change has been affecting some recent major storms, and a look at our national and local weather right after the break.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
E-bikes are taking over Orange County's beach towns, raising some safety concerns. Chapman News reporter Nathaniel Rudolph has the story.
On this gloomy day, the waves are crashing and the e-bikes are buzzing along the boardwalk in Newport Beach. These electric two-wheelers have become a favorite among locals and tourists alike.
Are you happy with your purchase? You really like your e-bike?
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm absolutely I'm thrilled. We're going 10 miles now, and I just feel very comfortable and confident on it.
I can go anywhere I want. I don't have any limitations because of my knees. And generally I ride probably 40, 50 miles a day.
But e-bikes are also raising a few eyebrows.
We do get almost daily calls from residents complaining about students riding their e-bikes recklessly to and from school, not stopping at stop signs, speeding up and down, multiple riders on bikes, and some students not even wearing their helmets.
According to Orange County Supervisor Katrina Foley, e-bike accidents have increased over 500% since 2020. And CBS reports that more than 41% of e-bike injuries in California happen right here in Orange County. For riders like Ariga Toyosaki, these numbers hit close to home.
So I was in the stop sign and there was a car coming horizontally, which I never saw since it was a little bit of a curve. And so I think it was a 25 mile per hour zone, but I think she was going around 30 to 40. And basically I left the stop sign and she just crashed right in, like on the side of me.
When it comes to staying safe on an electric bike, Workers at the e-bike shop Bluebird say the most important feature is a helmet.
It is something we're trying to bring more to the Newport Beach market because a lot of adults just refuse to wear helmets.
The bottom line, to stay safe, both e-bike riders and drivers need to share the road and follow the traffic rules. This is Nathaniel Rudolph reporting for Chapman News.
People in paintings mysteriously smiling, furniture moving, and the sound of children laughing when no one is around. These are just some of the strange sightings recently reported in the Old Town Orange Circle near the Chapman campus. If you're curious and looking to get into a spooky mood as Halloween approaches, Haunted OC is hosting ghost walks sharing tales of Old Town's eerie past. Along with chilling experience, the tour offers some history lessons you might not find anywhere else.
We do hear ghost stories about the area. You also hear and learn history, and history is what keeps people going, the stories that we pass down and things that we learn.
Haunted OC hosts ghost walks in several cities here in Orange County, including Santa Ana, Fullerton, and San Juan Capistrano. It's a popular Halloween family event here in the city of Orange, but it almost didn't happen this year. Chapman News reporter Ben Moscoso has the story.
In August, the annual Treats in the Streets was canceled due to city budget cuts, but community members, including Brandy Romero, stepped up to save the event.
The whole city, including city staff and police and fire, have just been an incredible resource in helping us to make sure that all this happened within 5 weeks. Things that take the city 6 months to plan, much less raising the money.
The event last week saw crowds of Orange County residents lining up for booths and food trucks, where many trick-or-treaters expressed their love for Halloween.
It's just really exciting to see the support that everybody did to donate and just, get this going.
I think it's important to just bring our community together that all live here so we can be as one, celebrate Halloween as one, and grow closer together.
Halloween's just cool and you get to hang out with friends and family. You can get candy, dress up, and that's it. Candy! We got candy!
Many OC residents remain hopeful that the strong turnout for this year's event will show the city how important it is to keep it going every year. I'm Ben Moscoso, reporting for Chapman News.
In Fullerton, it has been known as Walk on Wilshire, referring to a downtown street that was closed to traffic during the height of the pandemic. This move was made in order to create an outdoor dining space, but after a city council vote, Wilshire is slated to allow traffic once again as of January 31st. Council members voting to discontinue Walk on Wilshire noted many business owners decided not to pay to rent out the space in front of their businesses. Megan Guys, a Fullerton native, says she wishes there could be a compromise.
It's great that they're in the street because it does have that community essence to it, but maybe they don't have to charge them that much because it actually brings something to the community. Maybe the prices are lower.
Despite the council vote, supporters of Walk on Wilshire are not giving up. They have created an Instagram page in support of keeping the pedestrian alley open.
Over the past 2 decades, experts say climate change has played an increasingly influential role on natural disasters. With the back-to-back hurricanes Milton and Helene in Florida last month, climate scientists say the intensity and aftermath of these storms was worsened by global warming and the heating of oceans. Los Angeles TV meteorologist Mariana Caban says that Southern Californians also see effects of climate change locally. She says this includes unusually high summer temperatures, several severe fire seasons, and even record snowfall in parts of California.
That can also mean drought and severe drought, which is what we had a lot of in the last decade. And that has a whole other slew of problems that can bring us.
However, Quaban says there are some hopeful signs. She believes the impact of global warming could be reversible if we prioritize lowering carbon emissions. And, she says, elect politicians who acknowledge the impact of climate change.
Trouble is brewing in Paradise. Officials are keeping an eye on the Caribbean area for a potential tropical storm.
Our Serena Martin Baile has more on that and a look at our national and local weather. Serena?
Thank you, Caroline and Tegan. We are heading into the final month of hurricane season, and we're keeping an eye on a potential tropical storm in the Caribbean. The National Hurricane Center says that low pressure is likely to form in this highlighted area here just south of Jamaica and east of Central American countries. We are watching to see if the low pressure area could become concentrated thunderstorms. If that happens, then a tropical storm could develop. Now, let's take a look at our national weather. Things are finally starting to cool down, and it looks like it's the start of sweater weather. Our radar is showing lots of rain for our Rocky Mountain states here, and this rain might dampen some Halloween plans for people in the Midwest as a cold front moves through this area here. However, the biggest story is that some states are starting to see snow here in this blue radar. Now let's break down some of these numbers. On our west coast, Seattle, we will see some rain with an average of around 54 degrees Fahrenheit. San Francisco with around 52 degrees Fahrenheit, sunny skies as well in Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Denver. In Houston, we will see partly sunny skies with an average temperature of around 84 degrees Fahrenheit. And up north, we will see some cloudy skies in Minneapolis and Chicago as well. Moving to our east coast, we will see rain in New York with an average around 59 degrees Fahrenheit. In DC, again, cloudy skies. And in Atlanta, partly sunny skies there with around 71 degrees Fahrenheit. And in Miami, again, cloudy skies with an average of around 83 degrees Fahrenheit. Now jumping back to Orange, we will be seeing sunny skies here with an average of 70 degrees Fahrenheit, but up to around 10 miles an hour per wind. Now let's take a look at our OC forecast here. Our inland cities like Fullerton, Orange, Irvine, and Mission Viejo will see an average of around 70 to high 60s in terms of weather. And our coastal cities like Newport, Laguna, and San Clemente will see around mid-60s in terms of today's weather. Now let's look at our 5-day Fenestra forecast. Again, pretty average weather this week with partly sunny skies throughout the week. Average temperature of around mid-70s to high 70s with an average low of around 56 to 57 degrees Fahrenheit. However, on Saturday, we do expect some rain. So for our Panthers going to the Chapman football game on Saturday, please stay dry. That's all we have for this week's weather. I'm Serena Martin Baile. Back to you.
I'm Cora Sinis. The Dodgers are one win away from being world champs. That story plus more sports news coming up.
Difference can one vote make? Since 2023, more than 60 U.S. elections have been tied or won by just one vote. So this fall, your friend could be the tiebreaker. And that could make all the difference. People are more likely to vote when encouraged by a friend. So use your power to decide this election. Make sure you're good to vote and encourage your friends to make a voting plan at votevotevote.com.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
That's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
A mall near Los Angeles is shutting down, and fans of the popular movie Back to the Future decided to mark the event. Fans started gathering at the Puente Hills Mall around 10 last Friday night. A scene from the iconic movie was actually filmed at the mall. Around 1,500 people signed up for the event, and some even dressed up in their best Back to the Future costumes and came in custom-made cars. A few fans even took it a step further and performed scenes from the film.
I've always been a big fan of Back to the Future, and obviously being really close to Puente Hills Mall and it being almost exactly the same as when they filmed the movie here, that's why we came out to this event.
As for the next chapter for Puente Hills Mall, the developer that bought the property has not yet announced a future plan for the site.
In order to make way for a major new mixed-use development, a Santa Ana Mall is going away. The Metro Town Square Mall will be torn down and replaced by a combination of new homes, senior housing, hotel rooms, and restaurants. The project, known as Related Bristol, will be located across from South Coast Plaza. Santa Ana City Council members voted 6-0 to approve the project earlier this month. Brianna Valdivios frequently shops at Metro Town Square Mall. She says that the city's new project comes at a high price.
Crazy expensive. So it only fits like a certain economic level. So not everybody can afford the housing. First off, these new ones, they're going to be brand new, especially with like cafes and shops and everything. Those are going to be crazy expensive too. And like the homeless situation in Santa Ana is like already not great.
Has had many vacancies in recent years. Construction of the Related Bristol project is set to begin in 2026. The World Series is well underway, and Dodgers fans are ecstatic over the results so far.
Our Cora Sinnes has the latest.
Thank you, Tegan and Caroline. Welcome back to the Panthers Sports Roundup, where we've got all the latest in the world of sports. Game 4 of the World Series is tonight, and if the Dodgers win, it will be the first World Series sweep since 2012. The World Series kicked off on Friday, the Los Angeles Dodgers knocking it out of the park in the first 3 games against the New York Yankees. The Dodgers won the first series game 6-3 after Dodgers first baseman Freddie Freeman hit an extra inning grand slam. The Dodgers took home the win again on Saturday, beating the Yankees 4-2, and on Monday, the Dodgers winning the match 4-2 as well. The Yankees have yet to win a game in the series, but their manager Aaron Boone says there is still hope.
Game tomorrow. Okay? That's where our focus lies. So hopefully we can, go be this amazing story and shock the world. But right now it's about trying to get a lead, trying to grab a game and force another one and then on from there. But we got to grab one first.
Game 4 will start at 5:08 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tonight. In NFL news, the Los Angeles Rams won 30-20 in their matchup Thursday against the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings had previously only lost 1 game this season, leaving this game with a 5-2 record. The Rams currently hold a 3-4 record, having won only 2 of their last 4 games. The game was tied at halftime, the Rams taking their first lead at the end of the third quarter. Up by 8 in the fourth quarter, the Rams' win was sealed with a controversial game-ending safety. The Washington Commanders had an exciting end to their matchup Sunday against the Chicago Bears. The game came down to the final play, with the Commanders down by 3 and in possession of the ball. With 2 seconds on the game clock, with a snap at the 35-yard line, Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels had no choice but to throw a 52-yard Hail Mary, which was caught by Noah Brown in the end zone, winning the game for the Commanders. That has been our Panthers Sports Roundup. I'm Cora Sinnes, and we'll see you next week for more sports news.
I'm Reese Velez. Coming up on Chapman News, I'm highlighting a talented Chapman student who went on her first headline tour over the summer. Find out who she is after the break.
Middle of a game. Adrenaline coursing through your body. And you are calling the shots. Feel the power as you control the game's narrative. From commentator to camera virtuoso, replay wizard to unyielding director. There is no better experience than being in the moment. Challenge your limits and embrace the electrifying rush that comes with the crowd's roar. You never know the epic plays you will capture and the masterpiece you could make. You could be an amateur learning on the fly or a pro Wanting to expand your skills, you will always fit in. And what better place to broadcast your skills than in sports? Never knowing what is coming next and always coming across something new. Join the Chapman Sports Broadcasting Network and experience the thrill of life.
A Tony and Grammy award-winning musical is returning to Orange County today. The popular Broadway show Hadestown is holding a 5-day run at the Segerstrom Center for the Arts in Costa Mesa. The production, based on Greek mythology, is coming to the theater for the first time since 2022. The musical won 8 Tony Awards in 2019 and a Grammy in 2020 for Best Musical Theater Album.
Tickets for Stagecoach, one of the biggest annual country music festival, are now on sale. The festival is held in April in Indio, here in California. The 2025 lineup of performers includes country stars Zach Bryan, Jelly Roll, and Luke Combs. In recent years, Stagecoach has also become a platform for other artists to show appreciation of the genre. At the festival earlier this year, Post Malone performed an hour-long set of country covers. In 2025, there will once again be non-country artists in the lineup, including Lana Del Rey, T-Pain, and the Backstreet Boys. On social media, some country fans have expressed concerns that the festival is moving away from its country roots. There are many talented students here at Chapman University making an impact on the entertainment industry.
Our feature reporter Reese Velez joins us in studio with another Chapman artist highlight. Reese?
Thanks, Tegan and Caroline. Today on our Chapman Artist Highlight, I want to introduce you to LA-based singer-songwriter Sophia Center. Let's take a look.
Chapman sophomore Sophia Center has been singing and songwriting since she was very young. She says she got her love of music from her father, who originally came to LA to become a singer-songwriter.
Music means everything to me. It really has been with me since day one. You know, growing up with my dad playing music, I immediately caught on to it as like my big outlet.
Sophia spent her summer performing at small venues across 4 cities in California, singing and playing guitar in her first headline tour, titled The Cycle Tour.
It was my first time playing outside of LA, and preparing for it was even better because I just play with all of my friends. So like band practices and like just getting ready to go on the road was just hanging out with my friends and making music.
Currently majoring in creative producing, Sophia is involved in a few film and music programs at Chapman, including Women in Film and Chapman Commercial Music Ensemble.
Ever since I came to Chapman, I feel like my music and my career has grown so much just by being around so many talented, inspiring people. I've made the past 2 music videos with like my friends in film school, which has been so fun. And then also being part of the music school here, I'm surrounded by insanely talented musicians.
Gearing up to release her first EP early next year, Sophia aims to make listeners feel seen through her honest and relatable storytelling.
I think my music is unique because it really is my voice and very personal. I put everything about how I view the world into my music and into my lyrics, so it shows what's going on in here, which is a little scary that that's out there in the world, but it's really fun.
I'm here with Sophia Center herself. Sophia, please tell us where we can find you on social media and stream your music.
Yeah, I'm Sophia Center on all streaming platforms, and you can follow me on Instagram at sophia.center. You can also catch me performing at the Chapman Commercial Music Ensemble concert this Sunday at 2 p.m. right here on campus at Salmon Recital Hall.
You heard it here. Thank you so much for joining us, Sophia. I'm Reese Velez reporting for Chapman News. Back to you, Tegan and Caroline.
That is all we have for this week's edition of Chapman News. I'm Caroline Linton.
And I'm Tegan Callie. Please make sure to do your civic duty by going out and vote this week. And we will see you next Tuesday.